Welcome to Field Notes. I'm your host, Hayley Fleming, and today we'll be talking about herring recruitment in Prince William Sound. There are two important processes that determine the size of the herring population: mortality, or the amount of fish that die each year, and recruitment, the amount of fish joining the spawning population. For a population to grow, the recruitment must exceed the mortality. Since we mostly observe the spawning population, we tend to think of recruitment being those fish joining the spawning population. In Prince William Sound, the recruitment starts when the fish are 3 years old, and most all have recruited by age 4. The number of herring that recruit each year varies tremendously, and often the herring population is mostly made up of 1 or 2 very strong year classes. Scientists are trying to understand what drives the fluctuations in recruitment and how variability may change the population. Two of the best tracked herring populations are those in Prince William Sound and Sitka. In the 1980s, both populations had strong recruitment in the 1980, 1984, and 1988 year classes, which were noted for their 4-year cycle. In Prince William Sound, surveys of age 1 herring have shown strong peaks in the 2012, 2016, and 2020 year classes. Sitka observed strong recruitment from those year classes as well. A large part of the variability in recruitment is driven by these large year classes, and scientists want to know why they occur in this cycle. The fact that the cycle occurs in the same years at both locations suggests that what's driving it must be a large-scale event that covers both areas. The scientists have combed through the available information on winds, ocean temperature, phytoplankton populations, and zooplankton levels, and nothing has displayed a cycle that matches the recruitment events. One hypothesis is that the number of juvenile herring around the nursery grounds may be causing this cycle. This hypothesis is based on the fact that the herring are found at the nursery grounds until the main part of those fish have recruited to the spawning population at age 4. Ending a cycle of strong year classes is likely due to poor ocean conditions leading to low survival rates of larval and juvenile herring in a year that would normally have a peak in recruitment. Understanding what starts the cycle is more difficult. The 2016 year class, the year the fish were born, was the largest on record throughout the Gulf of Alaska and provides a good opportunity to examine the factors that may have influenced that class size. 2016 was a very warm year in the ocean and around the Gulf of Alaska. The warm waters were also associated with unusually high numbers of smaller zooplankton, the food for juvenile herring. These zooplankton were also available in large numbers right when the herring began to eat. The smaller zooplankton are easier for the herring larvae to eat, so they had the food to survive at a very critical life stage. Warm waters and lots of food also allow the larvae and juvenile herring to grow rapidly, and the larger the fish is, the fewer things can eat them, so rapid growth is believed to increase survival. The 2016 year class was 4 years after the strong 2012 year class, so it was timed well for the 4-year cycle that has been observed. All these factors appear to have multiplied and led to the record size of the 2016 year class. It should be noted, even though large numbers of the 2012 year class were observed at age 1 in Prince William Sound, those herring did not lead to strong recruitment to the spawning stock. Some factors must have killed those herring between when they were observed as 1-year-olds and when they should have recruited as 3-year-olds. The fact that herring populations tend to be dominated by a few large year classes may lead to other interesting changes in the herring population. One such thing is the changes in spawning locations. Normally, herring tend to follow older fish to spawning locations, but when most of the spawning fish are age 3, they are more likely to not follow older fish and instead find new spawning grounds. Thus, large year classes can change patterns in spawning for several years as each strong year class establishes a new spawning location. To learn more about this research on herring, go to the Prince William Sound Science Center website at PWSSC.org. Thanks for listening.